On October 29th, Hurricane Sandy crashed into the New Jersey coastline, claiming lives and destroying homes. The small town of Seabright was among the hardest hit. Its entire business district was wiped out, and most residents were left homeless. Seabright's mayor, Dina Long, a 1996 journalism and media studies graduate, recounts the Sandy aftermath and explains how Seabright is bouncing back.
We started watching Sandy when it was still Tropical Depression number 18. We knew it was going to be bad. I issued an evacuation order 5 days before the storm because we knew. We just didn't think it was going to be this bad. Afterwards, there was this kind of profound grief and loss. So we lost 100% of the businesses. Our commercial district was completely wiped out. 1,400 people were displaced, at least for 2 weeks. At this time, just under 1,000 people are still displaced. Everything was affected in some way. The homes that are relatively new and the buildings that are relatively new, meaning they were built in the last 15 years, survived the storm intact. And that's because they were built to new building codes. The problem is this town was settled in the late 1800s. We have a lot of old buildings and old structures, and those didn't make it.
How did your mayoral duties change after the storm?
Obviously, it became a lot more hands-on than it was in the past. It's almost unrecognizable now. So where I'm a volunteer,
Right.
part-time mayor, and where that worked well pre-disaster, you know, it's very challenging right now. Substantially damaged, and that's actually a measure that the federal government uses, and it basically means that the cost to repair your house is more than 50% of what your home is worth. And so if you're substantially damaged, that means that you have to rebuild to the new building code. We just put in really strong building codes, and so for my house, that means that my house has to be elevated about 6 feet in the air in addition to the repairs. And it was pretty, it's an old house, and we're not confident that it's going to be able to sustain being elevated. So we're probably one of those people that are going to have to knock down our existing house and start over. So the storm surge came through, swirled the contents of every single one of these buildings, pushed it out the back to the river, so you can see like that building's coming down. That mountain of sand there, that actually came out of the highway.
Any places where damage hit you hard emotionally?
Everywhere. I mean, look, everybody's got a story. And every story is more compelling than the last one. And so I think that's what makes it so hard. You know, we're just, I mean, people still are really struggling day by day. I had somebody here a couple of days ago who was sleeping in a car. You know, I mean, it's still really bad. And people don't realize it because life goes on everywhere else, and like everybody's going about their business, and we're like in this little bubble where everything is just wrecked. And you know, we're not getting help from, you know, financial help from our insurance or help from the government or like whatever. We are just helping ourselves. I can speak for myself particularly. I don't have a settlement from my insurance company yet. And so it's hard to know how to go about repairing my home, and I don't know how much money I'm working with. You know, when you live by the water, you buy a flood insurance policy because to protect you from things like this. And so here 4 months later, you know, turns out it really wasn't that much protection after all. And so that's what's happening to the majority of the residents here. So the ones who are home, they fix their homes with their savings, or they have that kind of resources. And the same thing with the businesses. We've got 6 businesses open right now, and they all did it on their own steam. See some signs of life happening here. This is a men's clothier, a women's store also is going to be opening. And volunteers, thank God, have been tremendous, and that's really what's helped us get this far. I endorsed Governor Christie, and the county party has vowed retribution on me, and so any chance that I ever had of running for higher office, I destroyed, and I'm good with that because it's not what I'm about. I'm only about my town.